Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time. Get a grip, yo, ready, set, go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Yeah, it's my time, yo time. Step into the spotlight. Get lit, yo. Let yourself go. Our time, high time. Gotta go big time. This is it, yo. Never take no fight time. Grind time. Take it to the street time. Turn the roof off. Get loco. Game time, win time. We gon' bring it home time. No regrets now. Let it all go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder.
All right, welcome to Mountain Bears. I'm Aeson, and of course with tonight is Techie Joe with the mostest. How are you, my little cubby?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you this evening?
Yeah, I'm better. I'm doing pretty good today.
Awesome. Doing a little bit better myself. Finally got to go see my massage therapist, which was amazing.
He is amazing. I'm sorry, he is just wonderful. Hello, Miss Brenda. How are you? Grab your coffee. Let's sit down and talk about some interesting things.
Talk about some interesting things.
Well, first of all, Aeson is off jury duty. Thank the goddess his term is over.
Hooray, hooray, and happy Friday 13th.
Yes, happy Friday 13th. Hope you kept your head.
You know, they come in handy.
Well, you know, that's how Friday the 13th became a thing. Everyone doesn't understand that Friday the 13th came out of the French being in debt.
Oh.
Okay. To the
sorry, guys,
Templar
I got
Knight.
glasses.
You're welcome. I need to clean mine too because I'm going to be reading some people later.
Oh, you're just all set up for this evening.
Well, I am. But anyway, so the French king was so in debt to the Templar Knights that he paid the Vatican, who also was in debt to the Templar Knights. We notice a pattern here, to charge them with witchcraft.
Oh,
right? Because the Templar Knights became very rich with the idea, you want to go to Jerusalem? We're a band of knights. You need a way to transact money. Oh, yeah, we'll form something called a bank. And then it'll do some lending.
Yes.
Yes. So, you know, and then Friday the 13th, they went and decided, oh, we don't want to pay our loans, so we're just going to accuse you of witchcraft and chop your head off.
That seems fair. Why can't we do that to banks now?
I've proposed it.
I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think I know a single person with a mortgage that can't get behind this.
We don't have a mortgage, and I can get behind this.
You know?
I'd like a
mortgage, credit cards, you know.
I'd like a mortgage or two.
You know? I'm just saying.
I know.
I'm just saying.
I know.
I could see this being a history repeated. But you know.
Well, you know, our heads of the feds is threatening it.
Do what now?
Yates, you know, our head of the Fed is saying you better raise that debt ceiling because we're going to hit it very quickly.
Yeah. Oh, it's always fun. Like, I have to say that was one of the weirdest things about taking economics in college.
Okay.
Was trying to understand, like, how the Federal Reserve works. And it's like, it's just a giant guessing game, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no. It's like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
This is how we end up with, like, really weird situations where the at the federal level we're trying to encourage, you know, like, get us out of a recession, put it, you know, slow spiraling growth, one of the two, that's generally the two market forces you're most concerned with,
right,
is because typically spiraling growth like we've had turns into a recession. So you do like, don't do that, like slow it down.
right.
And then, you know, if you
Okay.
hit a recession, it's like, okay, okay, prop this up, make this work.
Well, see, here's the thing: is everyone's going, we're going to hit a recession. We're going to hit a recession. Can we stop manifesting that? First of all, second of all, okay, if we look at like how many people are working, let's look at unemployment numbers.
Unemployment numbers have been, I think, pretty good. There's just a lot of businesses that are really hating this right now.
We are at 3.5 unemployment number. Okay. The last April of 2020, we were at 14.7.
Yep. So 11% decrease in less than a year.
In less than a year.
So well done. Well done.
Okay. We have not had this unemployment rate
ever. I mean, I'm sorry. I was with the people going, you know, I think that we could just assume that 10% of the population just shouldn't work.
Right.
Like, I was cool with that. I think we were all kind of cool with that 10% of the population just shouldn't have a job. Like, I was okay with that. I've met some people, I'm like, I would pay you to stay home.
May of 2018, we had 3.8. So we haven't had this. We have not had the unemployment rate.
But see, here's the scary connection there is May 2008, that was just ahead of the bubble burst for the housing market. Like, I remember, like, it was
2018.
Oh, 2018. Sorry, I thought you said 2008.
No, 18.
Okay.
The employment rate varied, and the lowest it's ever been was 1% of us during World War I.
Well, yeah, that's because everyone kept dying. Plus, we took an entire segment of the workforce, entire segment of the population that wasn't typically in the workforce, and put them in the workforce.
Right.
And now we actually count them as in.
Right.
And if you're trying to figure out what segment that is, that means you're probably too young to be watching this show. And the correct answer is women.
Yes. Women were brought into the workforce to do whatever jobs they could do and wanted to do. But anyhow, so we have low employment rate. Let's check our inflation rate. We're at 6.5%. Okay. 6.5% in December. Granted, we have to work on December. Is our inflation rate.
Yeah, but then we also have the compounding of that over the past 40-some years.
Well, if we start, you know, we've talked about this in the past. The inflation rate is at 6.5%. We've had inflation rates in the 80s that were triple this. Okay, 10 and 15% inflation rate. Okay, we got spoiled at a low inflation rate. Well, we also had more jobs. The other part there is, and this is the harder part to understand, for me, we have economists going, oh my God, inflation is up. Fuck, it ain't even raised a nickel, okay? Then we got jobs all over the place. Nobody can get anybody to work because they're already working at higher paying jobs. You wonder why you can't get people through your door, raise your fucking pay rate.
Yeah. Well, or more importantly, like reevaluate your employment situation that you're offering. Is it worth working there? And I've always found that to be one of those like taboo, or it has been previously taboo topics for companies.
Right.
Like, I do get it. I do get it from the business side and what business leaders are actually taught. is that like they literally treat human resources like most people do buying a price inelastic good.
Right.
I believe that's the correct terms I'm using. But effectively things that you don't care about.
Right.
It's a raw material for the business. It's a raw material in your life. You don't like there's people who don't give a shit what fucking paper towels they're using. They don't give a shit. Though, whatever's on sale, whatever's the cheapest, what's the least I can pay for paper towels. I don't care about paper towels.
Right.
I use them, I throw them away. This is my relationship with paper towels. This is how business leaders are taught to treat human resources. And that's where this all goes wrong.
All right. So I'm going to bring up a graph if I can get rid of the damn ad. There we go. Share screen. Thank you.
Or at least that's one of the technical ways. There's a second one. Okay.
1972.
Mm-hmm.
2023. 43 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Our inflation hasn't even touched a freaking pinhole. So if people start screaming inflation, don't listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a problem. It's where it's been at, people.
Well, here's the thing, though. Inflation is a problem.
Yes.
For 1% of the population.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has everything to do with money markets.
Uh-huh.
It has everything to do with stock valuations and shareholder dividend.
Mm-hmm.
It has literally almost nothing.
Right.
In general, to do with average humans.
Right.
Except businesses will then turn around, use rising inflation to justify why they're not paying more.
Right.
Oh, all of our costs went up. Oh, it's too busy. And I remember this because 2008 was an important year. That was the year that the company I was working for stopped doing, they did a hiring freeze.
Mm-hmm.
They stopped doing any kind of bonuses, raises, like all of that's off the table. We're like, everyone's locked in. Well, they froze salaries, they froze hiring. And I remember so well the conversation at the end of the year when they're handing out, the awards for like 5-year employee, 10-year employee, all that crap, where they thanked us in one breath for the most amazing profits the business had ever had, while continuing in the next breath to tell us they would not be lifting the hiring and wage freeze.
Right.
And I'm going, are you stupid?
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm standing there with everyone else and I'm simultaneously going, are other people hearing this?
Right.
Well,
like, did last year we heard how terrible it was for Exxon Mobil.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go and take a look here. Exxon Mobil. Let's get past their corporate BS. Let's go to their corporate stock report for shareholders.
Mm-hmm.
And just see how bad their profits were last year, shall we?
Of course, then again, you also have to be careful. Like, here's the other thing that bugs me with stocks. Like you can access all these reports for the previous year, like for the year, for whatever period you want. And the problem with those reports is they always try to make the company's financial position sound rosier than it is.
Well,
it always sounds rosy. If you look back about 6 months and beyond, You can see all the things that company does to make those numbers look rosy, because in addition to that report, there are addendums that they'll release.
Right.
So in June, they'll start releasing addendums, and they'll restate some things that were claimed in the report for the end of the year, and start, or the end of their fiscal year, whatever it is. Look 6 months later, there's a report where they restate some things.
Well, this is more interesting. Okay, in my opinion. We'll go to their annual report. It's real interesting. They made $23 billion in earnings. That's what they're paying taxes on. They have $48 billion in cash flow. They have $2 billion in structured cost savings. They're paying their 39-year of continual conservative annual dividend growth.
I will guarantee employees are being told there is like a wage and hiring freeze.
Yeah.
I will guarantee it, that there are people working for this company being told, oh, we're sorry, there's a recession. We can't afford to pay you more. Prices for gas are down.
Right. So we go into their financial highlights. The cash flow is up. It is on record number for the past 2 years, the amount of cash flow. But we don't have, but we can't lower gas prices.
Oh, hell no.
They're getting a return on capital employment of 10.9%. 14.1% average mobile share equality, meaning that if you own a stock in 2019, your stock has grown 14.1%.
Yeah, your stock's gone up 14.1%. Their capital, their return on capital investments is at 10.
Right.
Like high.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a savings account or a money market account, just for shits and giggles, go look at your bank's payout on that.
Right.
It's
average,
like
0.1%. Their employees $41,138, which is almost just 1,000 more than they done the year before, and 2,000 more they did the year before that.
Oh, that's their average employee compensation?
Yes. Average. It's called average capital employment applicant to equity to stock individual included.
Okay. Oh, is what they're paying out on the...
Yes. What? Is what they're paying their average employee.
Okay.
Yeah. 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 They've barely given them $1,000 raise.
Yeah. Oh, well, at least they gave them something.
Right. At least they gave them something. Okay. Let's go here. I want to go even more cryptic. Egg company. Let's find an egg company.
I'm sorry. Current egg prices are like drugs sell for less.
Well, let's
you could buy hallucinogens and pretend you had eggs, and it would be cheaper. Like, that's where we're at with egg prices. You can buy street drugs for less.
Well, let's go. I don't know. Let's choose an A-list stock. Performance Food Company Group.
Okay.
Get past your ad. They're grade A stock. Their list price is at $60.12. Let's go find their reports.
Oh, $60.12 a share.
In eggs. Yep, they're up 2%, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure they are right now. Like, good God. The incredible edible egg just became, like, insane. Like, seriously.
All right, corporate responsibility, investors. You know, they're having such a hard time with eggs because of the Asian flu. That's why eggs are $5 a dozen, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it will be.
No, they are $5 a dozen.
No. Not what I mean.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they're having an issue with the avian flu.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, package of 18 was $8 at Walmart today,
Ah.
says Brenda. She did not buy any.
Well, let's take a look here at their corporate filings on the 19th of their 8K.
Uh-huh.
Market, yada, 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 yada. They're out of Richmond, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Filing was on January the 9th of 2023. You guys even, if you own this stock, I hope you went through this report with a fine-tooth comb. All right. PFG continues to expect net sales in the range of 57 to 59 billion in 2023, according to projections.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an adjusted EBITDA range of 1.25 billion to 1.35 billion comparative prior to experienced range of 123 to 133 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, poor egg companies really hurting, don't you know? It's so hard managing so many damn chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, and right now what we're paying for is scarcity, manufactured or otherwise. We're paying for scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've declared this resource as scarce due to the avian flu.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we get left with. This is the same as like this gas prices in the 70s.
Right. Well, you know, it's there some forward-looking statements to subject the variable risk and uncertainty. The following factors, in addition to disclaimers, were entitled in our Item 1I Risk Factors of EPG Annual Report or the Form 10K. Economic factors, including inflation and other adverse changes, such as a downturn in economy conditions, negatively affecting our consumers' confidence and spending, cost and risk associated with potential cybersecurity incidents and other technology distributions, our regularity on technology and risk assessment to distribute and delay implements of new technology. Competition in our industry is intense and we may not be able to compete successfully. Effects of health epidemics, including ongoing impact of COVID-19 pandemic. We operate on in a low margin industry with increasing variable of our results of operations. We may not realize and anticipate the benefits of our operation cost reductions and productivity improvement efforts. Our profitability is directly affected by the cost influx and the deflection of other factors. We do not have a long-term contract with certain of our customers. Growing purchasing organizations may be more active in our industry and increase our efforts to add our customers as members of those organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Changes in eating habits of consumers, extreme weather conditions, hurricanes, earthquakes, natural disaster damage. Where the fuck are they getting our eggs from? This is based out of Richmond, Virginia. Where are you having natural disasters at with earthquakes and hurricanes? I'll give you earthquake.
Well, these are, I always love these. These are basically general disclaimers you'll find in most production based or product, like physical product, non-service.
All right.
Well, and you will see it some in service, but you'll see it a lot more in product. And it's basically, it's like, it's a giant disclaimer. It's the things could happen.
Right.
Things could go wrong. We could get struck by lightning. There could be a horrible storm. It could be a nasty winter. There could be a flu or a pandemic or a whatever.
Right.
And our operations will be influenced by any of this. That's what you're reading.
Right.
you know, like I found that to be one of the interesting parts. Is that's one of their like, you know, get out of jail free card when the company underperforms.
Right. It may be
Is
their
it?
Yeah.
Well, because it can go the other way, which is what it's doing right now. Their company is overperforming.
Right.
And will be.
Right. Now, how
For
much do you
probably.
think in 2021 to 2022 they had in liabilities? We just talked about how many $1 billion they make a year. How much in liabilities do you think they have?
Oh, let's see. What was our revenue at?
Where our revenue was at 1.5 billion.
1.5 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Four or 500 million
Nope.
at most.
Nope. Nope. This is actually a really good company.
Okay.
Their total liabilities in stockholders' equity is $12,378.
What?
Yeah. I'm sitting here looking at their fucking filings that they filed with the FCC of their total liabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So their
Was
total
12,000?
is $12,000. That is how much the company is in debt today.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, so they've been very good with their like not carrying a lot of debt.
right.
So like they've got some minor debt. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not doing a lot of debt service.
No, they're not doing a lot of debt service. Their net sales are almost into the millions. But no, they have some very nice, solid assets here.
Cool.
But no, their eggs are $8 a carton.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Why? Why is this? Is it inflation? No.
No, it's scarcity.
Yeah.
It's literally, and I
And
love
it's not even
Brenda's quip.
scarcity.
Well, but it's implied scarcity.
Right. Aeson is not building a chicken coop. Aeson, we have had for a while a stock of powdered eggs.
Yeah. Well, there's actually a really good reason he's not building a chicken coop. While our road, our shitty ass road in front of our house, is a state road, which would give people the impression that we live out in the county. We, in fact, live in the city.
Mm-hmm.
We get no support from the city, but we live in the city. And due to city ordinances, we're not allowed to have a chicken.
I know.
Not even one.
Unfortunately, I would have me
Not
some
even
lovely
one.
chickens. A nice breeding pair.
Hey, Natalie.
Hi, Natalie. But my point being is, okay, your $1 billion company literally owes like $12,000 that you basically just have in liabilities.
Mm-hmm.
You're raising your product astronomically. Where's that money going to? It ain't going to your stockholders.
Well, it'll mostly end up being profit. Some of it will dribble down to the investors. It'll be a dividend. They'll have a nice dividend. Everyone will be happy. But no, it's straight profit. And this is about pricing goods at their availability or perceived availability. It's again the same reason you end up with there's a fucking hurricane and gas prices shoot up.
Right.
Or we hit summer and all of a sudden we hit that first week after school ends and gas prices jump.
Right.
Because now there's this perception, and there's some truth to it. There's some truth to it that people are traveling more. You know, like, yeah, well, yes, they are, but it is not such a drain on gas that prices need to double to accommodate it.
Right.
But that's it's the price the market will pay.
Well, again, it's the price the market will pay. But, for those going, oh, the companies are hurting, the investors are hurting, I call bullshit.
Oh, I'd like to make some investors hurt. You know what I mean? Just like, please withhold a dividend.
Mm-hmm.
Please withhold a dividend. I mean, seriously?
Yes.
The investors are hurting. Like, that is a group of people I generally have no sympathy for.
Right.
Because generally, when we're talking about investors, we're talking about the wealthiest 1% who earn their money doing fuck all of nothing.
No.
They have money. They give money to other people to gamble with. It's what stocks are. They're a gamble.
Right.
They gamble with it. They get dividends.
Right.
They take those dividends. They get deposited in a bank account, and they go snort coke off a hooker's ass. That's what this turns into.
Right.
And that's it.
Right.
That's it. That's the whole fucking deal that they've done. Now, on the business side, yes, investors are important to generating money for the business to be able to take on projects. But there becomes a point in which the business is now just in service to the investors.
Right.
And the original actual activity of the business is more of a joke. It's a justification for the business to exist.
Once
you IPO,
wonder who I listen to. I listen to Warren Buffett. Okay. Love this man as an investor. Love his information. So let's see what Warren has to say about this. Well, he said that 3 stocks should be avoided this year like the plague. Okay. They don't pile into train wrecks, and they're not going to deal with train wrecks. So he's not buying Kraft and Hertz. Kraft and Hunts.
Right.
He's avoiding it like the plague. That is KHC. He is also avoiding a company called Snowflake.
Okay.
It's cloud data warehousing.
Okay. Cloud data warehousing.
Yes.
So basically, it's archived cloud data.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what other company Warren isn't touching with the 10-foot pole? You'll find this interesting.
I may not be surprised.
Well, what tech company do you think Warren would not invest in?
Oh, I'm sure he's running straight the fuck away from Facebook.
Nope.
Oh. Okay.
Apple.
No, I can see that one too.
Yep.
Yeah. Apple's about to revolt their customers.
Yep. He is calling them revolting.
Yeah. Yeah, like Apple customers Apple has finally managed to break its own spell over Apple customers. Like, they've had a good hold for many, 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 many years.
Right.
And have pushed some, are you kidding me, products.
Right. He said, I fully stand by my earlier statements this week. Apple trading at the price to earnings multiply for 21 for the current year isn't egregious. But with the company only slated to grow by 2 or 3% this year is simply not a good value. I fully expect Apple stock to fall below 100% this year, which makes it a Buffett stock to avoid.
Yeah, I can follow that one. Sorry, Apple hasn't done itself any favors.
Right.
The iPhone 14 is a micro improvement over the 13, which was a micro improvement over the 12, which was a micro improvement over the other. On down the line. We haven't really seen a new iPhone in several years.
Right.
Better camera, better battery. We keep hearing this. It doesn't really pan out. I'm not saying they're shitty phones. I'm just saying like they're stagnant
Right.
as a company.
The other
All of their
company
product is
that he
stagnant.
has apparently sold off within the past month is Kroger's, General Motors, Blizzard, Bank of New York, Store Capital, and U.S. Bank.
Mm-hmm. And you know, being an investor of his size, you know those companies are pissed.
Well, you know, if he is literally making it known that I'm selling these, that's a little scary.
Well,
And for him to
I
say,
mean,
I ain't touching these, I'm treating them like they are the plague, that's even scarier. What I'm finding more interesting is where he's investing in. Taiwan Securities, TMS, it's an informational technology company. Okay. Louisville Pacifica Minerals, Jeffries Financial Group, financial of course, Octan Probrium, it's an energy company, Platinum Global Communications, Chevron Energy, Clarence Minerals, HR Consumer Distribution.
Makes me wonder how many of those stocks are really just about diversification, because he's covered his bases.
Right.
Now, like he's done what you will hear in every economics class you will ever be sitting in is do not put all of your money into one sector, one industry, one field, and for God's sakes, not one company.
Right. Now, what I find interesting is his buys for the first quarter.
Oh.
Amazon, Bank of America, Floor and Decorator Holdings, Oracle Corp, which is a financial group, in New Holdings, which is a technology group, HR, which is a consumer's director, is basically that, T-Mobile, Taiwan Sector, we already talked about them, and Visa. And Verify.
Okay. Visa's an interesting one. Okay.
And he's advising everyone to trade against the gains. Find your bargains.
Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, bargains for him are not penny stocks.
Actually, no, he likes buying penny stocks. He likes, like, he bought Microsoft. He was one of the first shareholders to buy Microsoft. Can you imagine the amount of money that man has made off of Microsoft stock when I think his share number is like 15?
Shareholder number 15. Ever.
Right.
Yeah. No. Well, and I mean, again, he's someone that can take a big loss, like invest a lot of money, which to him won't even be a lot of money.
Right.
But he can buy up 100,000 shares at like 50 cents a piece. It's no big deal. It's $50,000.
Right.
For him, and I'm saying all this from his perspective. For anyone else, it's like, holy shit, that's fucking house.
Right.
Or, thereabouts. In, this market, not so much, but, it's a car. It's a car.
Right.
Not even a particularly nice car in this market, but that's beside the point.
Right.
Which is a scary thought in my head.
But I've always liked his investment advice. I am not giving you investment advice by the FTC. I cannot give you investment advice. Joe can give you investment advice, but I can't. He says buy what you use.
Well, yeah, and that's always been sound investment advice.
Let's see what Starbucks is trading at.
Well, and that's good general investing advice. That's the investing advice you make when you're looking for returns of 10% or less. Like you just want to grow your money. You're not looking for aggressive growth. You just want to basically make sure you have a pretty sound investment and you don't want to like blow it up.
But no, invest in the things you use every day. Example, I really should buy stock in Philip Morris. I really should buy stock in, Starbucks. I really should buy stock in Sheets. And, if you're looking at your portfolio, then, always say take 10% of your play money and put it into stock and just play with it. And you can do that on a lot of apps. My personal one is Cash App. I love dropping a couple bucks on Cash App.
Well, and especially because you can pick up some penny stocks. I can't say my Cash App, which I only invested like about 18 bucks.
Right.
And I have not looked in the last few weeks because, of course, I've not been feeling well.
Right.
But it's been near comical.
Right.
Like, this is why Joe does not give investment advice either.
Right.
Is because it's been near comical. I'm up from the last time I looked. But yeah, the $18 I've put into stocks has me at $6 right now. So I've lost $12 on the stock I picked.
For the moment.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, those are in case you're interesting, they're Wish, Global Star, Hexo, and Ideanomics.
I like Ideanomics. It's a nice, strong stock that'll perform well in 10 years.
Well, and I think Wish, in the time that I've had them, I think has seen some growth.
Right.
Well, a little bit. They're rebounding. They're trying.
Right.
Poor little Wish is trying.
Right.
But yeah, like Global Star saw a little bit of growth. They're a global satellite company. Hexo was the one that surprised me. I thought it was going to go up.
Yeah, it's not going to go up for probably another 6 months, looking at its portfolio.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I had poor Ideanomics. That was probably my worst choice.
What is that company?
They're a weird one. Let me get over to their little description. Ideanomics is a global company that facilitates the adoption of commercial electric vehicles and supports next generation financial services and fintech products. Its electric vehicle division, Mobile Energy Global, provides group purchasing discounts on commercial electric vehicles, EV batteries, and electricity, as well as financing and charging solutions a model. So they're a financial products company.
Right.
That's focused on electric vehicles.
I think that's a good move, but I think you're 2 years early.
Yeah, probably. And I'll be happy because, like, just so you guys know, it's not a lot that I've got into this company. Like Ideanomics, they're currently at 71 cents a share. I originally I originally invested like $3. I've lost $2.29 of that. I'm trying to look to see what how many shares that is. Yeah, I have 3.559523 shares.
Right.
That's how low their share price was in the beginning.
Yep. All right, guys, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about what happens when Aeson and apparently at least 2 other Psychic Seed knows gets a sinus infection. It's in your private chat.
All right.
All right.
Hi, I'm Dottie the Psychic, and I'm sure you're wondering why I'm not wearing any makeup. Well, one reason is to irritate my social media manager, Aeson Knight. Hi, Aeson. The other reason is because I like to get to the naked truth about what it means to be a neurodivergent LGBT person with psychic abilities. I've got vlogs, blogs, and podcasts and videos all related to trying to live my best life and helping witches and bitches do the same thing. So, you can check all that out and get a reading from Dottie the Psychic at DOTTIEthepsychic.com. Safe travel and much profit to you.
Do you have a cute pet? We know you do. Each week, Tracy Van chooses from submitted photos a featured reader for her Facebook page and provides a tarot reading. Your
your adorable pet cat, dog, rabbit, goat, chicken, snake, or more could be her next featured reader. Visit tracybann.com, TracyBann.com, and click Featured Reader to submit. We look forward to seeing your pet next.
Hey everybody, Lady Gwendolyn here, and I am here to tell you how to get in contact with me and a little bit about what I do. I am the High Priestess that works with shadow work to help you grow and heal. And I work with access bars, Reiki, I do power forms. I'm recently getting into crystal healing, sound therapy as well. So you can go to Lady Gwendolyn Healing, that is LadyGwendolynHealing.com. Book your appointment with me. I do in person, I do over the phone, I do over Zoom. We can do that as well. My main goal is to help you grow and heal, because I've been there, I'm still going through it, and I let my strength help guide you. See you soon.
Hey everybody, Natalie here from The Pendulum's Path. If you are in need of guidance, direction, spiritual connection, healing, or more, you have come to the right place. I have worked as a psychic and a medium for over 3 years, connecting people from all over the world with their loved ones, giving them insight and guidance into their current situations, their past healings, their blockages, and what they need to know in order for them to have a better future. It would be my absolute honor if you would come to my website at www.thependulumspath.com. Visit my shop. I have a whole bunch of crystals, oils, balms, mystery boxes, and more. And visit my services. I offer 15-minute, 30-minute, and 60-minute sessions. I also have email readings available if you're not comfortable with the one-on-one session with me, or if you just want to try me out. I encourage you to come visit me at the Pendulum's Path, and let's get you back on the right track today.
All right, welcome back. Okay, so take it away, Joe, while I look up the Shaktam residency.
Okay, so Earth has started spinning faster. What does it all mean? As scientists consider dropping a second off their atomic clocks for the first time, others warn that it could cause widespread disruption. On a normal day, the Earth rotates at 1,000 miles per hour or 460 meters per second as measured at the equator. On June 29, 2022, however, scientists measured the shortest day since records began in the 1960s. Earth had shaved 1.59 milliseconds off its usual time and almost went on to do it again on July 26, when it knocked off 1.5 milliseconds. Apparently, Earth has actually been speeding up for a few years now. In 2020, it set new records, no less than 28 times, according to Time and Date, despite the last record being set all the way back in 2005. This trend looks set to continue in 2022, but scientists are yet to agree on why Earth's spin is speeding up. Is it possessed with demonic energy, thrown off kilter by the Large Hadron Collider, quickened by climate crisis? Disclaimer, only one of these theories has any real scientific support. A more important question for us, perhaps, is whether it even matters that we're spinning milliseconds faster as we float through space. How will it affect our daily lives if we continue to accelerate? Will we be liquefied by centrifugal force? Probably not, but it could have some unexpected side effects, from timekeeping inconveniences to year 2000 style bugs in the systems that keep society afloat. Below, we explore some of the theories about the reasons behind the acceleration of Earth and dive deeper into the effects it's likely to have in the near future. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's an article from Days Digital. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's the Chandler Wobble. One explanation for Earth's recent acceleration is a deviation in the planet's axis, first discovered all the way back in 1891, named the Chandler Wobble. After the astronomer Seth Carlo Chandler, this basically revolves around the fact that the Earth's poles shift by a few meters over the course of 433 days. So basically, we're not sitting in space doing this perfect spin. We're doing kind of a wibble wobble,
Right,
as we spin.
right.
It's a very slow effect.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, that's item one.
Item.
The climate crisis. The speed at which the Earth spins is affected by all of its distinct parts, including its inner and outer layers, tides, ocean levels, and climate. One hypothesis for the recent acceleration stems from the fact that some of these parts are changing rapidly due to the climate crisis. As the ice caps melt at each of Earth's poles, they exert less pressure on the top and bottom of the planet. This apparently changes the overall shape of the Earth's crust from an oblate spheroid, a slightly squished sphere, to something closer to a properly round sphere. Because the mass of Earth would then be closer to its center, its rotational speed would increase. Just like if you're spinning on a chair, holding your arms out will slow you down, and tucking them in will speed you up.
Okay.
All right, and then what are we going to do? A few milliseconds may not sound like much, but it all builds up. In 2016, for example, a study led by Royal Observatory Greenwich astronomers revealed that Earth's rotation has changed, actually slowed, by around 6 hours in the last 2,740 years. To keep up with this fluctuation, scientists often find themselves having to adjust their atomic clocks. In fact, timekeepers have reportedly added 27 leap seconds since 1972 to account for the long-term slowing of Earth's spin thanks to the moon, and keep the digital world in sync with the actual length of Earth's days. Now that Earth is speeding up after decades of slowing down, though, they're faced with the puzzling prospect of having to take away or drop a second from global time. Oh, leap seconds have knock-on effects. Because our technological infrastructure is so dependent on a universally agreed upon time, leap seconds have often caused disruptions to companies, technologies, and whole industries that rely on regular and incredibly precise timekeeping. Meta, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, backed by French and U.S. timekeepers, even collectively launched a public effort to scrap the leap second completely in 2022, claiming that the practice causes more problems than it's worth. And there are some references to the Reddit outage in 2012 and the massive Cloudflare glitch in 2017.
Right, which Cloudflare controls a lot of things, y'all.
Yeah, Cloudflare is a very important name. Most people have no clue it exists. But for many of or most of your large websites, they are a content distribution network. And what this basically means is, instead of having one server where your website's hosted, these are servers spread around the world that duplicate your site and act as kind of a middleman for it, so that you can so that around the world you can have faster website response times. Only problem with that is that all of these servers work in conjunction like one big server. If Cloudflare goes down, it means that instead of your site just being slow, the internet goes down.
Yeah.
As in, you start seeing problems with Microsoft, Amazon, you name it, there's a problem with it.
Right.
So, yeah, at least in different parts of the world, sometimes in the entire world.
Right. So you got to figure out how to do this and not duplicate your transaction the microsecond that you make it on Amazon.
Well, it is very problematic for companies like Amazon. Amazon is a great example. Because as they're doing these these millisecond time changes, these tiny hair changes, these companies are running a 24/7 business. it doesn't shut down. It just keeps moving. Minute by minute and second by second, orders are coming in, credit cards are being processed, orders are being tracked through systems, calculations are being done about those time intervals. And all of this is, or can be, very, very dependent upon time. And very importantly, in technology, we don't think about time in terms of, like it is currently January 13th, 2023, 8:56 p.m. If you're watching this right now, according to the clock on my computer and on the Echo Spot in front of me, that's our current time. Yeah, that's not time as it exists in databases. It's not time as like Microsoft counts it and utilizes it within Excel. Time in that instance is seconds. It is a great big giant number. It is seconds since a specific date in 1970.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's January 1st, 1970. Mm-hmm. That is how in technology we count time.
Right.
And it is a very precise number. Even if we're talking about like the change of time, right, between 8:56 that I just said a minute ago and 8:57 now, we in computing actually store that as the real value of time.
Mm-hmm.
That big, long, giant number, even if we don't know the exact second, we still work with the great big number.
Right.
So when we add and remove seconds, we create invalid time.
Right.
As in, it's sort of like when you have that moment on a spring forward where you jump
mm-hmm.
an hour. That means there's a segment of time that doesn't exist.
Right.
It doesn't exist. You jumped from at 2 a.m. You jumped an hour. Mm-hmm. You sprung forward 1 hour. That means that on that day, 2:01 a.m. does not exist. 2 a.m. and 1 second does not exist. That's an invalid time. If you start trying to work with those numbers, you can blow things up.
Right.
Because it's not a valid number.
Right.
Hi, sorry. Welcome to the weird techy side of time.
Right. Well, and then I was going to go, I'm trying to do something.
Okay.
Because if we look at the time it's sped up, and then we look at the spectrum calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, and we start looking at, if we go back to New Year's Eve, I'm trying to figure out who is closest, Alberta, Canada, or California, USA, to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there's a magnetic field called the heartbeat of the world, the heartbeat of Earth. And it's called the spectrogram. And you can actually get an app to monitor this. I didn't know that. I think I will get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but this is what the Earth's heartbeat looked like New Year's Eve.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Very rapid. But, because it only goes to 40, and it was hitting, it was kind of up there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we go, share this having said, okay. So you can go through and watch and look at this, but I'm believing that Alberta, that if we go with CCI1, this is what we see on the Earth. So decent.
Everything's fine. It's all fine. And then it was down.
Then it went down, and it was calm.
That's that big series of black band images there on the next line.
Right. Quiet, normal. We're hitting our range. And then something around the 4th or 5th upset the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start seeing this big wavelength fucking explode here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So frequency vibration starts increasing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of like, okay, we settle back down for a little bit.
Yeah. January 6th.
And
kind of okay. Big spectrum midday.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then we go forward the rest of the week. And we start seeing, let's go to this week. Now, today is the 13th. We haven't got images for the 12th or the 13th. We only have the 11th up on live.
Yeah.
But whatever is going on in Saudi Arabia, massive vibration. Very much a very high level pull all this time. Being picked up by the psychics in the US, you see a spike on the 8th. Mm-hmm. Fucking someone pissed Mama Earth off.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. There you go. Now you guys can see it. Boom. Boom. Like her heartbeat is just shooting up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, less of a blood pressure-y, but more, boom, 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 boom. That kind of, fibrillation sound.
Right. Now, they have found that when you have spikes like this, you have major things going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we have the Earth speeding up at the same time. Something looking a little sketchy there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I find it highly interesting. What do y'all think? Commenters, we'd love comments on this. Or have we lost you in the meta science?
Well, I do want to go to Brenda's comment from a few minutes ago. So multiple orders coming in from multiple servers for a limited amount of items, milliseconds could be bad. Yes. Because it's all going to matter how, the different components that are part of these systems handle time.
Right.
And it sounds so crazy. But it literally, you can do some damage in a database if you're simultaneously arguing that an order occurred at a time that time says doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to get those records to play nice with each other can start to become a real problem.
Right. Well,
go ahead.
That's why, when we do time shift, I don't work that time of time.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that if we're going to jump back an hour, I'm not working a network during that hour because it will fuck the records up.
Oh, yeah, because it basically looks like you had two simultaneous clients
at the simultaneous time.
Yeah, so you're sitting there, supposedly, according to the system, what it knows.
Right.
Well, and sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. Again, it depends upon how the system is programmed to deal with time.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other interesting thing is that these seconds since January 1st, 1970, which is one of the more common ones, they do, even if it is you hit 2 a.m. and you drop your hour, there's still a continuating count of the repeated hour.
Right.
But now what sometimes happens is if you're not thinking about this,
right,
and you're not paying attention in a system, you can start setting off red flags in your programming.
Right.
That there's no way in hell this should happen.
Right.
You cannot simultaneously at 1:01 a.m. and 1:01 a.m. talk to the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Our system doesn't allow you to do that.
Right.
So depending upon how that system actually interacts with time,
right,
you could be in a situation where, like, for instance, you're on network and that system looks at what's going on and it may see you already on a call.
Yeah.
Because there's a record for 1:01 a.m. that already occurred.
Mm-hmm.
And then now they're trying to send you a new customer. And the system's going, wait a minute, he's on a call.
Yep.
He's on a call. He's busy.
Right.
Yeah.
It also messes with your banks. You guys may not know this, but it will mess with your bank. You're more likely to get flagged for fraud during a time change.
Mm-hmm. Again, for the same reason. You cannot be like, and there's a lot of science to how banks flag fraud.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is the reasonableness of transaction.
Right.
And it is a wild field in how they're looking to prevent fraud by looking at how you and your wallet can reasonably move.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you cannot simultaneously be in New York with a card present swipe,
mm-hmm.
and in LA with a card present swipe.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do it. It's not possible. And typically on an account, it will mark suspicious activity on the account.
Right.
Because that's not supposed to happen. You can't do that.
Right.
And that is based on the geolocation and the fact that there is no human way, as of yet, in mere minutes to move between New York and California.
Right.
Can't do it. You can't do it. So it'll tag these transactions as fraud. This can also happen if you run into a retailer that has an improperly set up card system. It's reporting a wrong location. We used to deal with this with our local Big Lots. I think they finally fixed it. But I could guarantee you, if I went to Walmart, stopped at Big Lots, bought some stuff.
Right.
The minute I went to Big Lots, before I could get home, I'm gonna have a call from my bank.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I've done anything else locally and I go to that Big Lots and swipe my card, I'm going to have a call from my bank.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to be sitting there going, wait a minute. And we finally figured out what it was, is their system was improperly set up. It was reporting a wrong location.
Right.
And so every time I swipe my card there, after, like, go to Kroger, go to, because it used to be almost a cycle for a little bit. One that I did often enough, we would go shopping.
Mm-hmm.
We'd run the card at the gas station, we'd run the card at Walmart, we'd just run the card at Kroger, we'd run the card at, like, Goodwill or whatever. And then we walk down to Big Lots, find a couple of things, swipe the card, and I'll guarantee you, before I can drive the 5 minutes home, I'm getting a call from the bank.
Right.
Every time. All because it thought, because of the system being improperly programmed, I have somehow driven an impossible distance in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You'd have to move at 1,200 miles an hour. There's no way you could do this.
Right.
And I laughed, and the bank and I started laughing about it, is that every time I go to this stupid Big Lots, they'll shut off my card.
I don't know. It's just, our systems operate so closely with magnetic fields. This is why a lot of people are having computer problems. This is why a lot of people are going through problems in general with their moods, their emotions, and their health.
Well, yeah, and you do have to always end up understanding that all technology is based on crystals. There's some crystal component in there, usually for timekeeping, oddly enough.
Right.
And this is all built around like silicon and magnets and electricity, and all of these things are moving states of energy.
Right.
And with that moving state of energy, you're talking about frequency and amplitude. This is what creates sound waves. This is what creates, electricity. This is what creates the signal you're watching right now.
Right.
Is frequency and magnitude. Because even if you're on fiber, even if you're getting that signal through light, it is all built around frequency and amplitude.
Right.
Anything that starts to distort that, or change that, or influence that, or affect that, can start causing problems. Now, most systems are pretty recoverable.
Right.
It tolerates.
Yeah, it tolerates pushing out negative energy and yelling at it.
No, I've never found the client found that work.
It tolerates
smack
it.
that
Help it.
Unless that computer is a Mac SE. I'm talking old school Mac in a box. I will guarantee you cannot hit it hard enough to make it work. Now, there is a situation with Mac SE which you can fix. It was actually possible to fix a Mac by smacking the crap out of it.
Well, I knew there was a reason that Macs are abusive. All right, guys, we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking poly advice and are you an asshole?
All right.
We'll be figuring out if Joe's an asshole this week.
Okie dokie.
Hi, I'm Dottie the Psychic, and I'm sure you're wondering why I'm not wearing any makeup. Well, one reason is to irritate my social...
Welcome back, Goblins! My name is Jason, and I am the host of the Esoteric Book Club, a podcast that examines titles on the magical, paranormal, the mysterious, and the strange. I release 2 episodes a month, in which I review books on esoteric topics, recap news of the weird, and conduct interviews with authors, practitioners, and experiencers. The Esoteric Book Club can be found on every major podcast service, or can be streamed directly from esotericbookclub.org.
Hi, I'm Tracy Van. I provide a blended reading consisting of mediumship, psychic, and tarot cards. A reading from me can cover any guidance you need from relationships with your partner or your family, spiritual, financial, any questions you may need clarity on. If you would like to book an appointment with me, check out my website, tracyvann.com. That's TracyVann.com. I have bookings from 15 to 60 minutes you may choose from. That helps if you just have a quick question, need an answer, or if you're looking for a reading in more depth, I'm here to provide the guidance and clarity for you. Let's just figure it out. Bye.
Hi, Techie Joe here. I work with Aeson and some of the best psychics in West Virginia to create amazing live streams and podcasts for the Psychic Coffee Shop Network. Together, we brew up great content discussing news, events, hot topics, and more, all from a psychic perspective. On the Psychic Coffee Shop, we interview amazing authors in the metaphysical realm. Coffee and Tea combines Aeson with Tracy, Dottie, Natalie, or Lady Gwendolyn for the good and the bad of being a psychic. Shameless Self-Promotion with Dottie the Psychic talks to leading and emerging YouTubers and business owners in our community. Mountain Bears brings you the latest in LGBT news and politics. The Psychic That Plans answers the question of, well, how a psychic plans. Plus, we're live on air. We take your comments and your questions, including psychic advice questions. Check out our amazing programming, book an appointment with top psychics, and find out all the wonderful things we have to offer at PCSBnetwork.com today.
Hi, I'm Aeson. I provide tarot readings covering everything from love and relationships to your life questions and your most spiritual answers. And also, I provide a lot of guidance in finances and divorces and all those relationship problems. So, if you'd like to get a reading from me privately, not on air, you can feel free to do so by visiting aesonnight.com and booking your appointment. I also provide on-demand services, so if your life is a little chaotic, you can go ahead and click that call now button there on my site. Great for a quick answer question. All right, guys, back to the show. Enjoy. All right, so the poll is up. We'll be finding out if Joe's an asshole. If you want to go vote, you need to go over to my YouTube channel and do that. All right, darling, are you an asshole?
All right, am I the asshole for telling my 7-year-old cousin that I'm gay at the Christmas party? 19 male and super gay. I've been out publicly for 4 years now, but to be honest, it wasn't hard for anyone to tell before that. My family has all been chill about it, and I never had any issues dealing with homophobia. Almost no issues. My mom's brother and his wife give me the "that's nice," while trying so hard to force a smile whenever it's brought up. It's not so much my uncle as it is my aunt. She's super Catholic and super Irish. That's about all the details I'll give here. We do Christmas with my mom's side the weekend before, and I was sitting next to their 7-year-old daughter. My other cousin was there with his girlfriend. He's my age. Little cousin says in her adorable 7-year-old voice to me, "Why don't you have a girlfriend like my brother?" And honestly, without really thinking anything of it, I said, "I won't ever have a girlfriend. I like boys. I'm gay." Cue the hardcore stare from my aunt while my uncle tried to tell a story to distract her. It didn't start a big fight then and there, but today I heard all about how my aunt called my mom and really gave it to her. I had zero right to tell their daughter what gay was. They're the parents, and they will decide when and what she can know about it, etc. After my mom told me all this, I questioned why they need to be secretive about it. I asked if they think it's shameful. Mom assured me no, but they claim, quote, "as parents, it's up to us to teach our child about that." My uncle has since called me, basically begging, for his sake, to call my aunt and apologize. And to, get this, try to walk back the comment next time I see her. He's giving me the "you know how she is, just apologize so she can stop annoying me about it." So Reddit, am I the asshole for doing this? Also, fuck apologizing. That's not happening. LOL.
You go with it first.
She was old enough to ask the question. She was old enough to get an honest answer.
I agree. You're not the asshole.
I think that's one of those moments. The parents still have plenty of time to share their views and give her more information if they so desire, or better explanation in their eyes. But she was old enough to ask the question. She was old enough to get an honest answer.
Right.
And yeah, I go on from there. So not the asshole in my book. I will say your aunt is. And I will say I would not be doing any more holidays over there until you can resolve this.
Well, I would
and it doesn't begin with an apology.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, so Brenda's with us. No, he said nothing detailed. His answer was appropriate for her age. Yes, right. It was. It was a simple question. He gave a 7-year-old appropriate answer.
Exactly. And furthermore, personally, I wouldn't do holidays. And there are family members that, and this is why I started mine. I do holidays at 5, dinners at 5, get over it. They can have their dinner at 2, mine is at 5.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and Brenda, I'm also there. If they feel it's up to them to teach them, then they need to teach her. And I think at 7, you should be expecting that question's going to come.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's kind of the age that kids start putting together relationships.
Right.
And it's not just this weird abstract thing that, like, mommy, daddy, and, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa. They actually start to understand,
right,
like how those people are connected, what marriage is, and what the difference is between marriage and dating. And so you should start seeing that there's gonna be a moment,
right,
where your gay nephew is coming to these events, and you needed to make decisions.
Right.
And unfortunately, the decision you made
right.
was to not say anything, wait for the situation to happen,
right,
and then get upset because in a situation you should have easily anticipated.
Right.
Because the real issue is not only do you not want your child to know, or more importantly, you supposedly want to be in control of what she knows about, gay people.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really want a gay person around your child.
Right.
That's what you just said. That's what you just did.
Right.
Is you feel that your nephew needs to apologize to you.
Right.
For existing.
Right.
That's what you asked for.
Right.
Apologize to me for existing.
Yep.
And not playing part in some charade in which you should have known.
Right.
You shouldn't have answered that question, and you should have deferred to us, and you should have done this. Bullshit.
Right.
Bullshit. That's bullshit. That's a lot of bullshit.
Right.
She was old enough to ask the question. She was old enough to get an honest answer.
Right. And what's interesting is the 7-year-old, because I always see what the reply is.
Excuse me, guys. I dropped my lighter.
Looked at it and went, okay, and went on.
I mean, I could understand the aunt having a moment where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe she just asked that.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see that. Like, like our baby's growing up.
Right.
And maybe because of their beliefs being like, I don't want to deal with this.
Right.
Because that's basically what they've chosen up to this point is we're not going to deal with this.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, when you don't deal with things, eventually someone else has to.
Right.
Or you have to deal with the consequences of not dealing with it.
Right.
It's why so many good Catholic girls who don't get an education in sexual health end up pregnant.
Right.
Like it's a story as old as time. Is good little Catholic girls get taught abstinence.
Right.
And then so when they do have sex, because they're humans.
Right.
They get pregnant because they don't know what the hell to do to avoid pregnancy, and they're not on birth control.
Right.
So you don't deal with it. You tell them, don't do that.
Right.
And then you think you can walk away, and they're just going to listen.
And
it's like, that's cute. That's cute.
Right. Right.
Like, so I very much find this a belief system problem, is that you didn't want to deal with it. Much like you're not going to deal when she's age appropriate with sexual health education. And then you're going to wonder why she gets pregnant.
Right.
Because you didn't deal with it.
Right. Now, I have problems with some of these answers that are going on in this comment thread. I just haven't found somebody yet who says he's single. That's a perfect answer for a 7-year-old.
Yeah, no, the answer is more than appropriate.
Yeah. The answer was very appropriate. I don't like girls. Get over it.
Well, yeah, and like if you want to get into inappropriate like situations and all this,
Right.
like I'm sorry, can we just talk about like all your heterosexual like nonsense? Like I'm sorry, does anyone else have the moment where you get invited to a baby shower and your first thought is we're having a party because you jizzed in your wife? That's it. That's what that's about.
Right.
That's what it's about.
Right.
Tell me in another way, because I know the biological process that led to the baby.
Right.
You like, hi, this is why we're having a party.
Right.
You created a mini human the way that many humans are created.
Yeah. Again. Oh, the bullshit we deal with going through the holidays. All right, so on to our poly relationship advice. Go for it, darling.
Worried I'm incidentally becoming my partner's primary.
Yeah. Read it. Joe?
Hey, there we go. There we go. All right, so I'll start that one over. So I, 23 female, have been dating my partner, 25 female, who I'll call Jay, for nearly 6 months now. I've never been poly before her, but it's been going remarkably smoothly on basically all fronts. She has 2 other partners, each of whom she's been dating about a year. We'll call them A and B, while I'm not currently seriously dating anyone else. I met the Metas pretty early on, and while me and A don't interact much, B and I have really hit it off. We have shared interests and hobbies and similar music tastes, and we've become friends. We text regularly, we hang out occasionally, and we're in the same weekly TTRPG game. That's all to say that I have a bit more insight into B's relationship with Jay than I might otherwise. Now, on to my main point. It feels increasingly like Jay is giving quite a bit more of her time and energy to me than to A or B. At first, I assumed it was the NRE and that it died down. But if anything, it's only increased. These days, we spend 3 to 4 nights a week together, whether it's a date, a chill evening at one of our apartments, going out with friends, or just hours-long video calls. We text constantly when we're at work, and lately we've been seriously discussing nesting together in the near future. From my conversations with B, I know this isn't the case in their relationship. She seems fine with it. I haven't brought it up. Oh, wait. I thought B was another female. Okay, from my conversation with B, I know this isn't the case in their relationship. He seems fine with it. I haven't brought it up with him directly, though. But it's clear to me that he's just not getting as much of her attention as I am, and I can only assume the case is similar with A. I know in the past, before I was in the mix, that B had issues feeling neglected by J because their communication styles are very different. But as far as I know, most of that was resolved. But then a few weeks ago, they had a bit of a fight in my presence, and I got the vibe that maybe it wasn't. I've brought my concerns up once or twice with Jay, and she always reassures me that everyone is happy, and so part of me feels like I'm just digging for trouble that's not there. I still feel a little guilty, though. I don't know.
All right. My advice.
Mm-hmm.
Not your problem.
Not your relationship, not your problem.
Exactly. You know, and you came in. See, and this is the problem that people don't get often. Primary shit. Like, I don't think there is a real primary relationship to any damn thing in poly, in my opinion. Cases.
I think sometimes it's a title more than it's an actual thing.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people just have a go-to partner, and that may or may not be the person you live with.
Right.
And that may or may not be like an issue.
Right.
I think for some people it becomes an issue when they were like, I didn't intend to be a primary.
Right.
Like, I do not want to be your go-to.
Right.
I do not want to be like, or I don't want to take from other relationships. I don't want to be like,
Right.
I wanted this to all be a level playing field.
Right. And I'm going to say this and kind of put it to the way I see it. As a hinge, I get to speak as a hinge, and then he can speak as a wing.
Yes.
It depends on what's going on in the other two relationships. Maybe A is busy at work and doesn't have time for dating, or maybe A is a one night a week. I want to see you on Thursday nights. We have dinner at 6, and you go the hell on. I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that dichotomy.
So A is more of a comment.
A's possibly a comment. A may just be in that dating situation. B, maybe like, I've got Thursday and Friday this week. Which day do you want? Neither? Yep. Great. I will see you at RPG on Sunday, right? Awesome. And that's the way that relationship works. You've now joined in the third, which means that you had that the hinge had time in the schedule for somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And very possibly, not only did they have time for someone else, but you're available.
Right.
Like, and that sounds bad.
Right.
But I think it's a combination of, like, they are interested in you.
Right.
And you may need to reconsider how much time you want to spend with them.
Right.
And then talk about that from that perspective.
Right.
But I wouldn't be concerned about becoming the primary.
Right.
Like, yeah, in some sense, you may be.
Right.
That's not a bad thing. That's not a good thing. It's a thing.
Right.
You're the one that's most available. You're the one that is interested in moving in together. You're the one that's looking, or perceptually seems to be,
right,
more interested in spending more time together.
Right. And you may just have the availability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's the hard thing to realize, is the availability factor.
Mm-hmm. And it may be that Jay just doesn't like being alone.
Yeah.
Like, that's also part of this, is like, sometimes you just get a partner that's like, I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
Like, I want someone there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm not, I'm poly. I like other people. I'm dating other people. I'm seeing lots of people. But if they're not available and you are,
yeah,
then we'll just spend all of our time together. You'll see the same dynamic happen with friends.
Yeah.
Is like, or maybe this is just me. Maybe other people don't have this. But like, I know there were situations where there were friends that I hung out with, not because like I was their bestie, but because I had more availability.
Yeah.
And so we spent a lot of time together. We did a lot of things together. We went a lot of places together. We did the things.
Right.
And that was great. That was fun. That was whatever. But was I their best friend? No. Were they my best friend? No.
Well, and you came into an already formed poly. Like, it had been long growing by the time you got here. If it was a plant, we would have probably had blooms by now. How did you know when we started negotiating time and that type of thing?
I think in the beginning, because in the beginning, I think you were trying to be a little more like a little more than two, but less ethical slut.
Yeah.
And I think you were also trying a little more hierarchical.
Yeah.
Than we eventually got to.
Yeah.
Like we tried that, it didn't work. It was a bad plan.
Bad plan.
Because it didn't really fit.
Right.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It didn't jive.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
All right.
That's all perfectly fine. There's no problem with that.
Right.
But in the beginning, we were trying to very carefully like balance time and make sure that like there was equal time. And
Well, equal time with the houses. Sometimes
Yeah.
that wasn't equal time with the partners because, my base poly was already here.
Mm-hmm.
So, there was other balances going on there too.
Well, yeah, and there were other things going on.
Right.
Like, at that time, your the invisible assistant relationship
Mm-hmm.
was, he was a stay-at-home.
Mm-hmm.
You were work from home.
Right. No, I still had the job.
Oh, well, yeah, there was that too. And
Yeah.
you're, doing events, and you're on the road, and you're working at a shop, and you're blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and I'm
So
traveling.
all of that's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've got comments coming through and other sustained relationships coming through. And yeah.
Right.
You're
So
right.
then you come down to where I lived at the time, because we were in separate cities.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, turn around and it's like you're also still on the road and trying to balance those things. Meanwhile, I have a business.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a stay-at-home.
Right.
Well, I'm a work from home, or more importantly, my office is at home.
Mm-hmm.
But when I have to go see clients, I have to go see clients.
Right.
And I go see clients.
Right.
And I have other relationships, like I drive.
Uh-huh.
Another difference between the invisible assistant and I is he doesn't drive, I do.
Mm-hmm.
And had my own vehicle and all this going on. And so I'm also going other places.
Right.
Like I'm going to see my sister. I'm, doing whatever. Like I'm living my life.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like the invisible assistant is more of a homebody, doesn't really like crowdy events, like,
yeah,
the things. So more likely to be like not only stay at home, but like stay.
Yeah.
Does not want to go out.
Right.
Stay at home.
But at the same time, in the other equation here, and the equation that people don't really understand in at times is, and this is why I say I have no primary, and we have had this large debate about me having no primary. It depends on what I'm doing, what I'm dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
If me and Invisible is dealing with something, me and Invisible is dealing with something, it's like, Joe, not your deal. You don't deal with organizing the kitchen. You have to find where the pots are.
Yeah, I know. So it's so weird to be brought into this stupid conversation, or, well, I shouldn't call it a stupid conversation, but being brought into the conversation about the washer and dryer.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here like, I'm granted I was the one doing laundry, so hence why I was part of the conversation. Right. But it really, at this point, wasn't really the decision of, are we going to stop doing laundry out of the house and just get another washer and dryer? Like, we've already slammed into the wall so hard of, like, the doing laundry outside of the house isn't working for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're beyond deciding.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening.
Yes.
And beyond that point, it's like, I don't really care.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care where you put the washer and dryer. I don't care what side of the house it's on. I don't care where you have to move stuff to. I don't care about the kitchen. Like, can I find the fridge? That's my concern of the kitchen. Like, can I see the fridge? Can I find the fridge? I can find the fridge. Awesome. Great. Can I find cups? Can I find glasses? Can I find spoons, forks, knives? Can I find cookware? Can I figure out where the food is?
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, I don't give a shit. Like, I'll find it eventually. Like, I don't care. I don't care where we're putting soup this week.
Right.
It doesn't bother me.
Right. But at the same time, me and Invisible got into a very involved conversation about where the deep freeze was moving to.
Oh, yeah. And I'm just like, I'm out. I'm out. The only input I had on
my deep freeze.
Do what now?
Have you ever even opened the deep freeze?
Yes.
Okay.
Stuff out of there. Yes, and it's my deep freeze. I moved it from Princeton. But I don't care.
Part of the gallery.
Do what now?
Part of the gallery.
Dowry, yes. But no, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I would be like, okay, if we're gonna be getting rid of the deep freeze and it's not broken, I would be like, excuse me.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't care where in the house it sets, really.
Yeah.
Like, don't put it in my effing office.
That was the debate he actually brought up, that we could actually put it in there. But
no.
Not the point.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
give me a map of the kitchen. I'm good. Brenda's with me on this. Just give me, or be available to answer the question. Where the fuck are the noodles?
You're right, but you'll have to.
That's it.
We move them. But those are the invisible assistant in my conversations.
Mm-hmm.
That's his department. His department has always been the house. The original decision over laundry was actually the invisible assistants of, that'll work.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do anything up close.
Yeah, because we had there was a few parts. So going back to that original discussion, that one probably involved me more because I was like, okay. So what had happened was our. Let me see if I get the order right. Our dryer broke. And then the washer went.
Right.
And then we started, or you did, because originally your idea was like, oh God, we got to get a new dryer. Like, okay, I got to take all this wet laundry up to the laundromat and do it. And then, literally the washer turned around and broke.
Right.
And it was
looking back, probably the washer was broke before the dryer, but it was still technically running.
Yeah, we thought the washer was fine. It turned out it was shot.
Right.
So, anyway, so we start mapping out this plan of, okay, now's not really a good time for this.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have time for this. We don't want, and it was like, okay. So, the two of them, I believe, started going to do laundry.
No.
I think.
I had my Dolores Claiborne moment. There's nothing that smells as good as sheets line dried.
Oh, God. I forgot about him putting up the clothesline. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, the washer broke. Now we have to go to the laundromat anyway. So, yeah. And I believe it was like the two of you were originally going to go and do this.
Right.
And the invisible assistant is like, no. Like, because this is an out-of-house activity, which is not their thing.
Yeah.
And, like, going to this laundromat, middle of the night, like, not their thing. And so then I was like, I can do laundry. Like, I've been doing this shit since I was 12. It's not like I just showed up and it was like, can you wash my underwear? Because I don't know how. I've been doing laundry. Like, taking care of my grandmother, I did 21 loads of laundry a week.
Yes. Our goal is to get 7 loads a week.
But no, seriously, 21 loads a week.
Yeah.
So I can do some laundry. I can make some shit happen. So I started taking it, and I'm like, I kind of like this. Mm-hmm. Once a week, 3 hours, go to the laundromat, do the laundry.
Mm-hmm.
So this was kind of working.
Right.
And we were cool with that. Well, then our dear sweet laundromat owner decided now is a good time to retire in the middle of a pandemic and sold the laundromat. And so the new company comes in and they are like, in addition to the fact that we're dealing with a lot of local miners, which puts a lot of work on and trouble on the machines, we now have a new company that doesn't want to fix those machines. So we go in search of another laundromat. Okay, now this becomes less, we're driving uptown, which takes like 6-7 minutes, and becomes we're driving from Oak Hill to Beckley, which now means this is like a 30-minute round trip drive just to go to the laundromat, just to get there. Extra 30 minutes. So now it's 4 hour or like 3.5 hour process.
Right.
okay, our previous laundromat 24/7, meaning I can go whenever I want to. If I want to start this at 7 o'clock at night, I can start this at 7 o'clock at night. It doesn't matter. If I want to do this at 2 in the morning, it doesn't matter. The new laundromat is open from, 7 to 7, 6 to 7?
7 to 7.
Yeah, 7 to 7. So now I have a very limited number of hours I can go to the laundromat. And like, there's no room for error on that.
Right.
Like, I cannot show up at 4 o'clock and do laundry.
Right.
I'm not going to get out of there.
Right.
Like, or I'm going to have to make someone stay and wait for me until my stuff finished. And God forbid a machine screws up, because it happens. It happens.
Right.
And then
the people that were doing laundry in Oak Hill also caught wind of this and went to that laundromat. So their machines are breaking down. And then, I don't know, I've been every time I go with him, I get approached for various things that I'm not including on air, but let's just say YouTube will take us down.
Well, yes, he's been solicited at the laundromat. I'll go there. He has been solicited at the laundromat. I have been there when this poor unfortunate woman lost her shit.
Right.
And like, I literally thought I was going to get injured. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, and every time I was going, I was coming back with a worse story.
Right.
And he's just sitting there looking at me like, what? And I'm like, it was laundromat.
So the invisible assistant said, after we both got sick, enough of this shit. You're getting me a washer and dryer.
Yeah, because all of this starts at Christmas. Like, I started with my issues 2 days before Christmas. He got sick, like, between Christmas and New Year's. And so neither one of us can go do laundry.
Right.
There's now a mountain of laundry. And this is, give them Aeson's OnlyFans page.
Wrong type of solicitation, Brenda, but you're close. Anyhow, which, by the way, just for the record, Aeson doesn't have an OnlyFans page yet. I
love how you always have to throw the yet on the end of it. Like, we don't have one yet.
But no, this is where Polly gets interesting, because I have one partner that says, no big deal, I can go to the laundromat. We have another partner going, fuck this shit. We're getting a washer and dryer. I am tired of this.
Well, I was still sitting there with I want this to work. I want this to work, because this should make our lives easier.
Right.
Going to the laundromat should be easier. There are 3 adults. None of us really are a size small.
No, not yet.
Well, I'm just saying, none of us are small. Like, we're full-grown adults, so 3 adults worth of laundry is a lot of clothes. And the bigger you get, the bigger the load of laundry is, because you have to do less pieces per load. So you have to do more loads. And yeah, so because if we go once a week, that is like 4 triple loaders at the laundromat to do our laundry. Sometimes we can break that up a little bit, and it's not all like triple loaders. Sometimes it's like a quad and a couple of triples and a single, like whatever.
Right.
But it's a lot of laundry.
Right.
And my problem is that, like, I can go do this and knock it out in like 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, his costume changes per day are insane. Yes. And so, yes, that also adds. He's also very sweaty, may I point out. Like, he can't rewear stuff. Like, that is the worst play. Like, a lot of guys will do the sniff test and, like, put it back on. He will never, ever pass the sniff test.
No.
Like, it's single use. It's single use. Sometimes I think that on the way to the laundromat, is that this should have been single use. Like, I don't need laundry hampers. I need laundry hampers for like 2 of us. And then I just need a garbage bag and we'll buy him more later. Because I don't, like, I've had moments driving the laundromat. I'm not sure that Gain has this covered.
Especially my
But that's beside the point.
That's the point. Point being is I'm a furry, sweaty bear, and the department is of the house, and what contains the house is the invisible assistant's domain, except technology. That is Cubby's domain.
Yes. I don't consider a washer and dryer technology.
Depending.
Can I plug in a keyboard? Can I plug in a keyboard?
There are some that have apps, apparently. But
I know there are, but
got to that gray area, which is why you were included in the conversation.
Oh,
but no, so the invisible assistant said, "We're getting a washer and dryer. I've had it with this. This does not work. This is not working, and I'm sick of it."
And I'm sitting there having to make and it was so sad for him. I got to explain to y'all. He finally got the message and was like, all right, we're getting a washer and dryer. Aeson did. And he's like, yes, we're getting a washer and dryer. And so he goes and he researches and he, calls and blah, blah, blah. Because we do have a space constraint and like, we got to make sure all this is going to fit and like, what do we got to do and blah, blah, blah. And so he's so excited about this. We're getting a washer and dryer. And I'm just like, yeah. Like, and I'm sitting here having to have the conversation with him. I'm not like, yay, we're getting a washer and dryer. But at the same time, I'm just really ticked off.
Right.
That our local laundromat can't hold its shit together. Our secondary laundromat is forever and a day away, or might as well be. Like, if this was my grandmother's era, she wouldn't know where she lived anymore.
Right.
Like, she couldn't get home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's a ways to go do laundry. And these are the best options we have. These are our 2 options. Like, there's a third laundromat, and it's even worse.
Right.
Like, I'm pretty sure one of the dryers has a plywood door, like, just let y'all know.
No. Right. But no. Okay. So he made the decision in his department that we are getting a washer and dryer.
Yeah, it's over. I'm done.
My department of finance.
Yep.
Can we afford to get a washer and dryer? Where are we getting the washer and dryer from? What are the options we are looking at? Which type we want? Do we want the one with the app that can alert him at the store that he works at that the dryer is done and waiting for him when he comes home?
Your underwear needs folded. Your underwear needs folded.
Okay. What options, that's my research and finance department and do the deal. And like, no, we're not putting the order in until this day because there's a 20% off sale and a promotion and this and that and this.
Right.
Needless to say, we're getting a washer and dryer at 30% off, and the payments are weekly, and they're $15 cheaper because we waited 5 days.
Yes.
To the annoyance of the invisible assistant.
Well, he understands.
He understands.
He's only annoyed because, like, the laundry situation is getting dire.
Right. And becoming a problem for him in his world of departments. Meanwhile, the other side of the hinge is upset. The other star beacons of the hinge don't give a shit.
Yeah, like, they're not here for laundry. Is there a clean towel? Can I take a shower after?
Yeah. Is there clean towels? Will the linens be changed to when I get into town? Is the where they're at.
Yeah.
Yes and yes. Okay, great. So it's like, no. This is just deciding on a washer and dryer. There was a debate between Amana and Whirlpool. And that was the point of the conversation. Which brand do we want to go with? Which one do we trust?
I'm sitting here going, I don't care. They're all made by the same company. This is my near permanent belief is they're like HVAC systems. You're paying for the label,
Right.
You get a few extra features here and there. It's a different cabinet. It's all the same. Like, we have not drastically
Actually,
changed.
there's a massive difference, and here's the difference.
Oh,
5 inches. 5 inches width.
Leave it to a man to call 5 inches massive.
Okay, there is, because the Amana unit would not fit in the space that the invisible assistant has sketched out.
Yes.
Okay, which was a problem. These are the things the hinge needs to deal with. Whether you're getting more or not enough time with them is not a problem.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Like, and I'll say in this household, we both kind of had the opinion of, like, take my husband, please. Take him out shopping, take him to lunch, take him to dinner. Keep him for a few hours.
Right.
Like, please. Please, someone please take him. Please. No.
Darling, I have promise scheduled all in 2 weeks. Okay? It's a snowstorm out there. All right, let's go see if you're an asshole this week.
All right, what's the poll say? Am I the asshole? I'm waiting for Brenda to quit choking so she can reply to what I just said, because I know she's lost it over there.
No, you are not the asshole.
At least until that last comment, I was doing great.
I don't care. I was upset a treat.
Oh, yeah. Brenda's like, so I don't care. I was upset a treat. Yes.
But no, those are things that really, people really want to know, what's it like being poly? That's what it's like being poly.
Pretty much. Oh, I'm just going to call her out. She private messaged.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't suitable for air, but I love it anyway. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, which, if you missed, the Invisible did step into your domain while you were gone.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, I couldn't miss that. Like, some things moved. Like, I came back in here and I was like, why does my desk feel so left? It was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, we're fine. It just took me a second. It was like, it's one of those moments, like, you get used to your desk and where your stuff is on your desk and what's on your desk and why your desk is set up the way your desk is set up. Okay, so the invisible assistant, like, is a southpaw. I am not. And so I had a moment where it's like, wait, what? Like, because, like, God help the southpaws. He tried to put stuff back, and it was cute. But it was all a little left.
Yep.
And it's like, no. It goes over there.
It was fun having him on the show, and he'll be back. And he's looking at doing some game-ish streaming, so we might have a Saturday stream or a Sunday stream. We'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
And when that occurs, because PCSP does have a streaming station. We do not normally stream to Twitch. We may game stream to Twitch, and I may come in and do commentary. But anyway, we got him over his camera fright. He'll come in on other occasions when Joe's otherwise busy or whatever. But no, it was really different for him to because Joe says he's the houseplant. Really, he's not. The Invisible is a houseplant until you mess with his house.
Oh, I'm a houseplant. Yeah, as a human being, I'm a houseplant.
Yeah.
Like, that seems to be your type. You like houseplants.
Yes. I like independent men that can go do their own damn thing and get out from underneath me.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. And yeah, no, I'm a houseplant of a human being.
Uh-huh.
I really am. I require so little attention.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm sure there's probably a psychiatrist taking notes right now. Yes, you can infer from that I got neglected as a child.
Right. But Invisible is a houseplant also when it comes to attention. He really doesn't give a damn. until you mess with his house. Then he has problems.
Okay, there's a few things. Till you mess with the house. God help there's a peanut butter situation. Because there should always be more peanut butter. Like that peanut butter and bread, dear God. Both of those. You let there be a dwindling supply, we have issues. Or you start rearranging the kitchen. Like that's no, that's a no. Start rearranging rooms, same thing. No.
Yeah,
Is it your room? Like no.
Yeah.
Like my office, I can do whatever I want. It's not going to be a big deal. Your office, you can do about whatever you want. It's not a big deal. Like the common areas, though, like our bedroom, not a problem. But like the common areas, oh, sweet Mary Jesus, no. Like,
Yeah. And no, my office, he does have an issue with.
Well, yeah, because he does still have to go through your office.
Well, not only that, but he has things to do in my office, and he has issues if they aren't where they should be. I've been, dressed out a few times for moving things.
And well, yeah, because there's legitimate, like, because I swear to God, you will become one day unsupervised, shall you make it so long, some 90-year-old with just like paths, like one leg. You like you got to go through sideways paths through the house because you do not care to walk sideways through a house. It does not bother you. You will position furniture in a way that you cannot walk in a straight line like a normal human being. You will move stuff. And then you'll be like, what do you think? And I'm like, I'm thinking I got to turn sideways to get through there. Move it. Are you nuts? Like, I do not want to come through the door, pirouette through the living room, and then heave sideways to the kitchen with groceries. No, not my game plan. I'm all about open lines. Like I can do nice arcs and turns, and I actually have to be careful of that because I have a bad knee.
Right.
Like I do not turn right very well. I'm more likely to turn left and do a full 360.
I'm very much a door person. I like doors upon doors. Like every room that has a doorway should have a door.
Finally.
Okay.
Finally.
The Invisible is not. He is not in favor of doors, open or closed. It's like open area, open walls, blow off the walls.
Hold on. You want to really know what Polly's like? We have 3 people in this house who have 3 separate opinions on doors.
Yes.
Okay? Here's where this is at. He likes everything to have a door that he never closes. The invisible assistant would be happy if we just took all the doors off. Just take them down. No more doors. Just no doors. Don't need doors. Doors are pointless. I, on the other hand, am like, I think everything should have a door and it should be closed. Close the door. It should also have a lock. It should latch and lock, and if the dog can open it, we need to find a better way to close it. Because I don't appreciate being in the bathroom and hearing the door fling open. I don't appreciate being asleep in the middle of the night and hearing the bedroom door fling open. I'm not cool with this. It does not work for me. I like doors. I like to close doors. Meanwhile, I say this is the person with the one room in the house that no longer has a door. This is where we're at. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting a door.
Yes.
It's on the list. But no, I'm just like, my ideal world, like I close doors behind me. Like I always close doors. I like my dream when I get my office door is I'm going to come in here to work. And as I walk through the doorway, I'm going to close the door behind me because I'm working. I'm in the worky area behind my closed door. Like, I would fail as a manager in an open door policy situation because that ain't me.
Yeah. And see, I'm the one, I like the bifold doors a lot because they take up less floor space, or the pocket doors. If this house had pocket doors, I would love it, but it doesn't, and we can't retrofit them.
And see, he doesn't quite understand how traumatized by like bifold, multifold doors I am. Because I don't think we ever got into that really. I hate those damn things.
Right.
And there's a reason. I grew up in a house where at the bottom of the stairs, there was a multi-fold door. So like little panels about this wide with like the little like vinyl or whatever to hold it all together. And it slides over. And yeah, this is what is the bottom of the stairs in the house I grew up in. Okay, these stairs, my grandmother finished. She was the last person to ever touch these stairs. And there's a thing you need to know about my grandmother. Loved that woman dearly, but she could paint a whole house, inside, probably outside too, on one can of paint. 1 gallon of paint, you can paint every room in a house because you're always going to be painting it white. But 1 can of paint, all you need, you can paint the whole house. Ceilings too, baseboards, all of it, trim, all of it. You can paint the whole house, 1 gallon paint. But when it came to polyurethane, I swear to God, that woman could not finish a bedroom floor with less than 3 gallons. Like, she put it on like people pour epoxy floors. These were the stairs I grew up with. If it were abnormally humid, I'm not talking like there's drops of water. I'm just saying it was a little humid. In that house, those stairs became glass. You just shoot down them. Okay, there was a multi-fold door at the end of the stairs at the bottom. Do you know how much of my life has been spent sliding down an entire flight of stairs because there's no stopping? Sliding down that flight of stairs and going feet under the door. And then, like, occasionally going so far and so fast, therefore so far, that, like, the door comes to here. I don't like that is my, I have trauma around bifold and multifold doors. Like, the whole concept is like, nope. I don't want to be under it.
I know. I like the bifold wood solid doors that split and go into half. I even like a Dutch door. I love Dutch doors.
Oh, the little half open, half closed?
Yeah.
Like top and bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I love those. I begged my parents for one of those. I did. At one point, we were, Dad was working on the road. They'd gotten him this apartment, and part of this apartment's thing, oddly enough, was between their bedroom and the living room, there was a Dutch door. I'd never seen such a thing. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Like, I played with that door. Like, I had a little shop and, you know, like all kinds of, I had so much damn fun with the door. Mom actually legit considered trying to figure out how we could turn one in the house into one, because I played with that more than any other toy. Because it just, I was enamored.
I would like one in my kitchen, one in my now pantry laundry room, and one in my office.
Oh, yeah. With the pets, we needed them.
Yeah.
We need them. It would be nice to open the door, but not open the door.
Yeah. All right, guys. We hope you've enjoyed our rambling of the show, and we hope you have a great night. See us back for Sunday for Psychic the Plans. All right, guys. You have a great night. Let's move to our Patreons.
Yes, don't forget them. So, of course, we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda Bryant, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Dottie the Psychic, Tracy Van, Caitlin Bell, and Devin. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, and how you too can become one of our Patreon sponsors and receive all the wonderful benefits our baristas receive, please visit us at pcspnetwork.com.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.